How's it going, guys? I hope you're having a great day. Today we're here with a Zamorak God Wars Dungeon Guide, and we're going to be going over everything that you're going to need to know to be able to grind out your Zamarakian Spear, ZGS, or Staff of the Dead. So let's get into it. For the requirements for Krill, you're going to need at least 70 health to be able to get into his room. You're going to need at least 80 attack, strength, and defense. However, 90 defense is strongly recommended. If you're going to bring Thralls, you're going to need to have a Kingdom Divided completed and 76 magic to be able to summon your Greater Thrall. And if you plan on bringing Ancients to barrage the minions at the end, you're going to need at least 92 magic for your Blood Barrage. As well as all of that, you're going to need 70 Prayer, with a minimum of 43 for Protect from melee. However, having 70 is going to grant you the ability to use Piety, which will greatly help you. And you can get the Saradomin's Light to be able to brighten up the Zamorak area, but it's not really necessary. It doesn't really do that much for you, so don't worry about it if you don't have one. For Krill, you're going to want something similar to this, with a Serpentine Helm to protect from Venom. If you're on a Greater Demon's task, however, bring your Slayer Helm and bring some anti-poison with you instead. You're going to want your Fire Cape, a Fury or Glory, an Unholy Blessing to protect from the Zamorak minions, your Arc Light, as it's going to be best in slot against demons. You're going to want Carol's top and bottom, a Crystal Shield, Barrow's Gloves, some Ancient Dehyde Boots if you are planning on banking it next, and a Berserker Ring or a Ring of Suffering. If you have the money to upgrade your gear, you could switch out the Carols for some Misori, and you could switch out your Crystal Shield for either an Avernic or Dragon Defender or a Dragon Fire Shield. And you could switch out your Barrow's Gloves for some Ferocious Gloves. For the inventory, you're going to want to bring a Super Combat Potion with you, some Brews, Restores, some combo food. I like to bring Anglers since they heal more and you can overheal with them. Your Gommel's Hilt or a Teleport to Trollheim if you've already used up all your charges. A Key if you're going to skip KC. You're also going to want to bring your Rune Pouch filled with Natures, Souls, and Cosmic Runes and be on the Arceus Spellbook. That way you are able to cast Ward of Arceus to reduce the damage from demons by 10%. You're going to want to bring your Bones to Peaches tablets and a one-click teleport out. And your Arc Light is going to be your special attack weapon as well. It's going to use 50% of your special attack energy and lower your opponent's strength, attack, and defense levels by 10% for demons or 5% for anything else of their current level +1. The accuracy roll for the special attack rolls off of their stab defense. And if you are out of your Gommel's Hilt charges, one thing you can do is use a House Teleport tablet so you can stay on the Arceus Spellbook and teleport to Trollheim, drop a piece of food, teleport back to the bank, make yourself another redirection Trollheim teleport, bring another piece of food, teleport back again, and pick up the food you dropped. That way you're able to go in with a full inventory still. Krill is going to have 3 minions in his room, just like most of the other God Wars dungeon bosses. I'm not going to try to say their names because, well, they're just kind of wild. So the Black Demon minion is going to be attacking with magic and have a max hit of 16. The Greater Demon is going to be attacking with melee and have a max hit of 15. And the Lesser Demon is going to attack with ranged and have a max hit of 21. As for Krill himself, he is going to be attacking you with magic with a max hit of 30, melee with a max hit of 46, and a melee special attack that can hit through prayer with a max hit of 49 that is also going to drain your prayer, and will be attacking on a 6-tick cycle. Krill also does poison you, and it is going to be for 16 damage per poison tick. As far as the loot goes from Krill, he's got the Steam Battle Staff dropping at a rate of 1 out of 127, the Zamarakian Spear also dropping at a rate of 1 out of 127, Staff of the Dead and the Zamorak Hilt both dropping at a rate of 1 out of 508, and he will drop his pet at a rate of 1 out of 5000. Now let's talk about how to get there. If you have Egger's Ruse completed, you can use the Trollheim Teleport in the standard spellbook, or a Trollheim Teleport tablet, which is created from a House Teleport and a redirection scroll from the Nightmare Zone. Or you could use Gommel's Hilt, which is closer and has 3 daily teleports with the easy tier of the combat achievements done. Medium will give you 5, and hard will give you unlimited. If you're not using the Gommel's Hilt, this is where you're going to end up. What you're going to want to do is climb down these Eastern Agility shortcuts, as it's going to be a lot faster than taking the shortcuts on the other side of the mountain and having to run all the way around. Now that we're at the bottom, we're going to protect from range and run past the thrower trolls. And now you're at the entrance. You're going to need either 60 strength, push the boulder, or 60 agility to be able to take the shortcut. The boulder is going to be about a 12-second entry, as where the agility shortcut is going to be about a 5-second entry, so I would suggest using that. Once you're inside, you're going to be greeted with the Winter Storm effect, which continually drains your stats and run energy, similar to the Ice Diamond portion of the Desert Treasure 1 quest. You are able to remove this effect by completing Making Friends with My Arm, and mining the basalt to make the Fire of Unseasonable Warmth. Aside from that, inside there are 3 wolves, all level 132 guarding guarding the entrance. You're going to want to pray melee and run past these guys over here towards the hole. If it's your first time in, you're going to need to tie a rope to the hole right here. Once you tie the rope on there, it will stay forever. You may also need to talk to a knight before entering the God Wars dungeon. Once you climb inside, you'll see that you are surrounded by minions of all the gods fighting. And to get into Krill's area, you're going to run north and cross over this bridge. And you need to have at least 70 health to be able to cross this. It is going to drain all of your prayer, and then once you're over here, you'll notice that you only need protection from the Zamorak minions, as those are the only ones in the room. Now that we know about all of this, we can talk about the KC to get into the boss room. In the God Wars dungeon, you are going to need 15 to 40 KC of whichever minion of the boss you're going to kill per entry into their room. But combat achievements lower the total amount that you're going to need, starting at the hard tier going from 40 to 35, Elite 35 to 30, Master 30 to 25, and Grandmaster 25 to 15. For your kill count, you're only going to need to tag them for credit. I would go for the Spiritual Rangers or Mages if you have the Slayer level for those, as you can get some Dragon Boots from the Mages and make some money while you're getting your KC. They won't aggro onto you when attacked as long as they're already in combat with something, so go ahead and let the minions tank for you. You don't need to waste your prayer like that. The boss and boss minions also grant KC towards your next kill, totaling at 4 KC per trip if all of the minions die as well. If you can, bank it next, and makes your life really easy. You'll need a key shard from all of the God Wars bosses, which you'll get on your first key for each boss. You'll use those to build the key to unlock the room to get to next. Once you're in there, you'll want to build up enough KC for a few bank trips, and then you'll want to go and get your KC for the boss, or just enter with an ecumenical key. Once you're in the boss room and you get back to 40 KC, you can use the altar to teleport out of the room and be put right back outside the boss room's door. You can then run to Nex, resupply, and head back over to your boss. Getting KC in the ancient room is a lot faster than all of the other bosses, as you'll be granted 2 to 5 KC per kill, depending on what you kill instead of 1 like the original 4 bosses. Killing a melee or ranged minion will give you 2 KC. A Blood Reaver will give you 3, and Mages give you 5. If you die or teleport out, your KC is going to be wiped and you'll have to collect it again from scratch. So using the Nex bank is a nice method for saving all the KC you've collected in the boss room. Since you aren't going to be leaving the dungeon, it's not going to get wiped. If you do die though, it will place your grave safely outside the boss room so you can collect all of your gear. But remember to bring god items with you when you come back for your stuff. That way you don't wipe your grave. You can instance the room, but if the torch outside the room is lit, then you will have to world hop, as only one person or group iron team is allowed to instance a boss per world. The hard combat achievements grant access to instancing starting at 150k, Elite will drop it down to 125k, Master to 100k, and Grandmaster to 75k. You are able to skip the KC to enter the boss room, if you have an ecumenical key, which are dropped at a rate of 1 out of 60 in the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. Each combat achievement tier completed starting with hard lowers the drop rate by 5, with hard being 1 out of 55, Elite 1 out of 50, Master 1 out of 45, and Grandmaster 1 out of 40. You'll also be able to make these keys with shards received from Nexus loot table. 50 shards is going to equal 1 key when combined. If you do go the Wilderness route, bring armor from all the gods, for example, a Zami D'hide Coif, a Holy Necklace, War Blessing, and Armadil Rune Legs. You'll be able to bring Barrel's Gloves and a Dragon Scimitar, or any other weapon you'll protect on death. Remember to bring an anti-dragon fire shield, some combo food, anti-poison, and a one-click teleport like the Seed Pod in case a PKer shows up. This is a fairly cheap setup where you'll protect your weapon, coif, Barrow's Gloves, and your legs as a +1 from protect item if you have a similar inventory to the one shown on screen. If you're an Iron Man, the hardest pieces to get are going to be the God D'hide and the Armadil Leg, since they are Clue Squirrel items, so you could switch them out for a Zami Monk Robe Top and a Book of Law if you don't have the others. Be sure to kill imps and weaker monsters for faster keys, but make sure you have Skull Prevention turned on. It is the Wilderness. Now, as far as the kill goes, we can just ignore all of these markers. That is for the range method. So there is a 5-0 method and a 5-1 method, but we're just going over the melee method today. Before you enter, you are going to want to drink a sip of your super combat potion, throw on your protect from melee, throw on piety, and then we're going to get our special attack ready, and we're going to enter the room. I'm going to instance this one, and you're going to want to spec Krill. Make sure you get at least 1 hit, and then it's going to be very similar to Bandos. You're going to attack him twice, step under him for 2 ticks, and then attack him again. If he does say Yar, he is going to hit you through prayer and drain half of your current prayer points. Make sure if you have to eat or refill your prayer that you are doing it while you are under him, so that way you don't lose any ticks from the delay in eating before you're able to attack again. And as you can see, you can get stacked out pretty easily, so just be careful and pay attention to your health. And it looks like we're not going to be able to see his special attack, but it does hurt. Alright, so we're going to go after the range minion first. And then the magic minion. And then the melee minion. And that's really all there is to it. It's not the most difficult fight in the world, but you can get stacked out pretty quick. Everything hits pretty big numbers, so you just have to be paying attention to your health, paying attention to your prayer, and making sure that you are walking under the boss and staying under the boss for 2 ticks, and that you're also eating and drinking your potions while you're under the boss as well. Now we'll hang out here for a second and see if we can't get a clip of him using his special attack, because it is pretty brutal. Any day now, Krill, you can special attack me. I'm asking you to, please. And there it is. As you can see, I took a bunch of damage through prayer and half of my prayer points were drained. And that's where I'm going to call it. If you guys enjoyed the video or learned something, feel free to hit that sub button. It's free. It'll make this guy really happy, and it'll also help grow the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.